Hello, 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 everybody. This is yours truly, Mr. Roberto Ferguson. So, welcome to Diet for Your Life, and I'm excited and honored and committed to sharing evidence based information that helps you lose weight, reduce, or even eliminate medications and improve your overall health without, here's the kicker, feeling like you're on a diet. Now, with in this episode, I'm going to be joined by a nutritionist and personal trainer, someone I proudly refer to as Lady Azra. And together, we're going to break down the critical role of dietary fiber and how, or what it plays when it comes to your gut. We're going to address misleading claims, and we're going to introduce you to the most powerful or most potent antioxidant produced in the human body. Now, before I bring on my guest, take a moment to like this video, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel. And if you like more information on anything that we discussed today, you'll find contact details and resources in the description below.
All of diets is a new way to see. No more counting calories, just living free. Robert Ferguson's got the plan you need. With diet-free life, it's the key. No more starving, getting rid of inflammation. Choosing healthy choices, providing you with sound information. Bringing balance to hormones and insulin through food. With DFL, teaching you food choices to see it through. DFL, we're teaching you to eat food right. Teaching you to pair food with each bite. Balancing our body's microbiome, feeling so right. With diet-free life, it helps futures lose body.
All right, everybody. This is Roberto Lorenzo Ferguson. And again, I want to say thank you for being here live. And those of you who are catching the replay, I want to say thank you for catching the replay. Now, we have a very interesting conversation that's taking place today. And we're playing with some new tools as we gear up and get ready for 2026. So if you're watching this in 2026, this is being recorded live in 2025. If you haven't figured it out. Now, without further delay, and to join me in today's episode is, again, a dear friend of mine. I call her Lady Azra, and she will introduce herself, but she's a certified personal trainer. She's a fitness advocate, been doing it for many years. She's now a nutritionist and looking to help people live their best and healthiest life. And we have a partnership. We do some business in helping people live their healthiest life. And so without further delay, let me bring her up. The one and only, what's up, Azra?
What's up, Roberto Ferguson?
Well, I get nervous, and that's why I say Lady Azra, because I was like, I don't want to butcher her last name.
Please don't. A lot of people do, It's important to know who your guests are and how to pronounce their name, especially if they're not could be a Lisa, Michelle, or Jennifer. So thank you.
Amen, amen. Now do be so kind, if you don't mind, Azra. How do you properly pronounce your last name?
Oh, think of Lilo and Stitch, Lilovich, Halilovich.
Oh, okay. I mean, how long did it take you to figure out how to teach that?
Actually, a lot of times I've changed my last name into Hall sometimes. If I'm not going to see you again, if it's not an official document, I will just put in Azra Hall. It's just, what's your last name? Hall. Good. I'm never going to see these people again. But on official documentation, I make sure that I put Halilovich. And also, so what I did when I was younger, Robert, no one knew how to pronounce Azra. So one time I was at the basketball court at 17, and all these boys were like, trying to talk to me because I had ball game. And I said, well, who do I want to be today? Let's make it easier for these American boys. So I went by Tanya. For years, I used to tell people my name was Tanya to make it easier. But, then I said, hey, you know what? Why do I have to change my name to make others comfortable? I'm not. So I went back to being known as Azra. So it's Azra Halilovich.
Halilovich.
Yes.
Okay, I said it right. Azra Halilovic, everybody. Now, okay, now is that Bosnian?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so give everybody an introduction to who you are. Like, I'm Azra, and tell us about you so people have an idea of who this amazing special lady that Robert is highlighting today. Who is she?
Man, I feel special. Thank you, Robert. Okay, so I was born in Bosnia Herzegovina. Back in the day, in the early 90s, we were known as Yugoslavia. So today, Yugoslavia split into 7 pieces, but now I'm from the part that's Bosnia. So I know a lot of people know Croatians and Serbians. I want people to know what is Bosnia. Otherwise, I grew up being a tomboy, playing sports, basketball, soccer. I was the most improved basketball player in 7th, 8th grade and in high school. I just have a passion for sports, Robert. I have a passion for health and fitness. I grew up with parents that ate so much pickled cabbage and dry smoked beef with high blood pressure and diabetes. And I just used to see my parents struggle. And I said to myself, I will never allow my future children to have to take care of me. So I just always was in the wellness space. I got certified as a personal trainer about 15 years ago with National Academy of Sports Medicine. And but I've always, in my background, I went to college, I studied community health and wellness. So how can we impact the community at a bigger level, not just, hey, eat your protein and make sure you're getting enough fiber and carbs,
Okay.
And then later throughout the years, I just went into the healthcare space doing quality and compliance. But my passion is health and wellness and just helping people live longer lives.
Okay, well, wow. Now, Bosnia, a quick question before we dive into the focus of our talk today. How far is that from Croatia?
Oh, we're neighbors, next door neighbors, like, Chicago and Gary, Indiana.
Right. Okay.
We're next door. Yes, it used to be one country, and, the country split into 7 pieces, and Croatia and Serbia are neighbors of Bosnia.
Nice. And it's funny, when I think of Croatia, 2 things come to mind. One, I'm reminded of when I taught martial arts, one of my students' mom was from Croatia.
Okay.
And I remember her coming into my office, and, and her kid was amazing talent, like total athlete. And I remember her saying that she was on the Olympic team. And I don't know if the Olympics took place in Croatia or she happened to make it to the Olympics, but I believe it was the year that the United States didn't compete. And she ended up winning. She won a medal. So anyway, I think of Croatia all the time, and now I know that it's close to Bosnia. So one of these days we'll go there.
Bosnia used to host. They actually hosted the Olympics, I believe, in 1984 in the city of Sarajevo, which is the capital. But yes, we do breed some of the best athletes: Serbia, Croatia, Bosnia. Luka Doncic and Jokic out of the Denver Nuggets. My people.
All right. Well, I'm glad you are here. So, as I invited you, right, and this is somewhat of an impromptu, right? I don't give too much notice as far as what we're going to talk about. Okay. But I came across a video actually that was sent to me from a doctor, a practicing physician, who tells everybody that you shouldn't eat fiber. And I was like, why would she say that? So I had looked at many of her videos and I learned a little bit more about her, but I wanted us to do a kind of like a watch together, right? So I'm going to play this video that was sent to me.
Okay.
I'll pause it and you and I can comment on it. And the goal of why I like to do these kind of videos, Azra, is that there's a lot of information out there, about health and nutrition, and people start to get confused, like, who do I believe?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and here you are, you have a physician who's saying that fiber is not necessary. And she backs it up with really nice video. It sounds like it makes a ton of sense. And people just get even more confused. Have you seen that, or do you follow me on that?
You know what? Let me put away this broccoli real quick. Let me get away my fiber. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen different types of claims out there, and I think it's important to do your own research and what's their agenda? Why are they telling you not to eat fiber?
Right. And you know, and one of the things that I really like about you from day one is that you love asking questions. You have this really powerful thing about you where critical thinking is just present. Even when it's topics you may not be very well versed in, you have that ability, that discernment, if you will, to be able to look at something and ask questions that'll make a person go, huh, I wasn't thinking like that. But Azra is.
Okay.
So
Well, let me close this window. I'm in Chicago and there's police sirens as usual.
Okay. All right. Well, anyway, before we get started, I'm going to play the video. I'm going to pause it. And if you want me to pause it sooner, Azra, what I want you to do is just put your hand up like Ricky Lake used to do back in the day.
Oh, I love Ricky Lake.
Yeah, put your hand up. Put your hand up. That means pause. You know what I'm saying? Pause.
You got it. Let's go for the show.
All right. So let me set us up. And everybody, tune in, take notes so you guys ask your questions as well. Here we go.
I looked patients in the eye and told them that if they wanted to fix their gut, they needed more fiber. I told them that healthy poop should be big, bulky, and happen daily. I was wrong. If you think healthy digestion requires oatmeal, broccoli, and daily bowel movements, you've been lied to. In fact, if you're struggling with bloating or constipation or inflammation, that fiber you're eating isn't a broom sweeping you clean. It's a scrub brush stripping away the most important layer of your gut.
Okay, I'm going to pause there just for a second. So if you're watching that for the first time, Azra, what comes to mind for you?
Well, for me, it's like, what? I mean, I'm 40 years old. Since the age of what, 8, 9, when doctors have been saying, eat more fiber. My parents say eat more fiber. And why is she telling me not to eat fiber?
Right, which it does get your attention, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
Now, for those who are listening in, just so you know, the CDC, who has some pretty good accurate stats, they estimate at this very moment in time in the United States and Canada, only 7% of the population is getting what they recommend as an adequate amount of fiber. Right? So they're saying you want to get a certain amount, and they're saying that 93% of people are not getting enough fiber. And this physician has already stated that we don't even need fiber. Okay.
Well, I want to see her stool test.
All right. Well, let's see what happens. So I'm going to keep it going. Here we go, everybody.
Let's go.
Patient Jane ate nothing but sardines for months. And what happened to her poop flips the script on fiber. Now, before the comment section explodes, yes, I know about the study. The Lancet published a massive study saying that fiber reduces heart disease. Yeah, I won't argue that for healthy persons eating a standard American diet, you know, that one full of processed garbage, adding fiber mitigates some things. It slows down that glucose absorption a tiny bit, and that leads to improvement of heart disease. But there is a massive difference between healthy persons and the patients I treat. My patients suffer from inflamed joints and sluggish brains with a layer of fog between them and the world. And hidden in their guts is a mess. Add fiber to those sick patients, it didn't heal them, it harmed them. The only reason to prescribe fiber is for farting. Don't we need fiber? Let's look at the chemistry.
All right. See, at this point, I was going, you know what? Why would someone do a video like this? Like, why would someone who's a physician, which means she's smart, she's intelligent, she has a strong ability to learn, otherwise she wouldn't have become a physician.
I agree.
So at this point, I was going like, why would she say don't eat fiber? Like that we don't need it. Like, why is she going in that direction? And when I looked into it, for those of you, and I made her link available, you can watch the complete video, just scroll down. I want to give her credit because we're using her video, like we're reacting to her video. if we were all sitting in my house together, Audra, me, you, and by the way, a few people said you look like Ricky Lake.
Oh, a lot of people say I look like Karen. You know, I cut my hair short. I thought it was a cute, like, you know, bob.
Well, you know, toward the end, Ricky had her hair like this, and I don't know if you knew this, but I was her nutritionist for years.
Oh my God, that's wonderful.
Yeah, see, you learn something new about me every time.
Well, you know, a lot of my people in my culture say that women should have longer hair, so I just chopped it off to show them you can get a man even if you're bald. Like,
okay, well, there you go. Well, I would say, okay, so
okay, go back to
with regard to Dr. Boz, who's in the video.
Yes.
I was going, why is she going down this road?
Okay.
And so I don't know if you know much about a diet called keto.
A little bit.
Okay, so it's people who eat, like, they don't eat many carbs.
Yes,
And
low carb, high protein.
Yes, so they eat a good amount of protein, even more fat.
Yes.
And they're big into like ketones. And so what a lot of times what people don't think about when they hear someone presenting is they don't think about if that person is compromised. Meaning, are they sharing information in a way that contributes back to what their beliefs are? Or are they sharing information based on truth and they're not compromised, right? Because they're not trying to lean a certain way. And she's a keto person. So when you go to her website, you can see that her audience and everything that she does speaks to everything that would benefit people to continue being keto.
Have you ever tried the keto?
Yes, I'm very knowledgeable of the keto diet.
Okay.
But, you know, and if you watch her videos, she even makes a lot of comments where she's on and off like a lot of people. So you can tell, if we were to look at her scrapbook from the time she was a teenager to being a grown woman, I would be willing to bet she's battled with her weight. And she found this niche with keto and then got a whole bunch of people to follow her. And she's built an audience. And as a result of keto people following her, she delivers information to those people that they want to hear. And it gives them energy to keep doing keto. And then she makes money because of the views.
Isn't every coach, every doctor, every practitioner, everybody has an agenda, everybody has a certain type of, you know, people that they want to cater to. So I understand where she's coming from. I understand what she's doing, you know.
And I get it. Free enterprise, right? So as Sandy says here, she says they want to sell something would be my guess. And Sandy is absolutely correct.
Yes, Sandy, but are you willing to buy it is the question. Let's go.
Okay, here we go. Let's keep it moving. We're almost there. I'm gonna let it play for a good 2-3 minutes, and then we'll like talk about where she is at that point. Okay.
Yes.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Medical school teaches us about the essential nutrients, things your body cannot make. We have 9 essential amino acids required to make muscle cells. We have essential fats or fatty acids like omega-3s that we must swallow in order to get them into our brain. And we have essential vitamins like vitamin D, iodine, vitamin C. We cannot make them, we must eat them. But look for essential fiber. It's not there. It doesn't exist. You can live your entire life without a single gram of fiber, and physiologically, it'll be just fine. This is where my clinical work collided with research. When I started using the ketogenic diet, I tried to play by the rules. I tried to use net carbs. We told people, eat this fiber-filled keto bar. The fiber cancels out the carbs. My patients didn't get better. Their spiking blood sugars remained, and their inflammation did not go away.
Okay. I said I was going to let it play a little bit longer, but I had to pause it because she made a couple of statements. Before I share what came to mind, is there anything that came to mind for you, Audra, that you would have a question about?
The fact that she said it harms you, like, having so much fiber intake, it harms you. Sometimes I lose focus when they, say something like that. But
I mean, imagine beginning today that you do everything you can to avoid fiber.
And fiber is in most in vegetables and carbs, and
yeah,
I would have to just eat, I actually did do the keto for like a couple of weeks, and I was studying about ketosis, and I felt like all I ate was bacon and cheese.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to eliminate carbs, and can you imagine eliminating fiber?
Well, you know how she went to the point where she talked about counting your fiber and subtracting it from the carbs.
Yes.
So that was a big part of like the Atkins diet, the keto diet, and their goal is to get the carb count down, which is true.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's a true statement, because dietary fiber is not metabolized as fuel. It's gone. So if you see some cereal that says 50 grams of carbs, total carbs, and underneath it says 10 grams of dietary fiber, then it's really 40 grams of total carbs, because you can subtract the fiber from the carbs, which makes it more attractable to people who are aware of keeping their carb count down by increasing their fiber. And that's a big one.
Yeah.
And that's true.
I wish she would just teach people how to read nutrition labels.
Well, she's saying that she did that. Now, she did share a truth, and she's sharing a good amount of truth, but she shared a truth that most people aren't aware of. Are you ready for this?
Bring it.
Okay, and I know you get this. Okay, and what I mean by this is that there are essential vitamins, meaning you must consume those vitamins in order to get those vitamins. So that's what the word essential means. Like vitamin C is essential. If you don't eat and get vitamin C, you can lose your teeth, you could die, you could lose your ability to focus. I mean, so many negatives could happen if you don't get enough vitamin C. So that's why they call it essential. And you're very familiar with omega-3s, which are also essential.
Omega-3 party.
Okay. Meaning we must consume it, right? Either through food or supplementation, because if you don't get enough, then it can create some problems. So essential is a big deal. So here's my question to you, Azra.
I don't know. I do not answer questions on live.
Actually, I'm going to ask you this question. And those who are listening, who are like catching us for the first time, and I'm going to share this because most registered dietitians answer this incorrectly. And I've done a lot of talks to registered dietitians at graduating classes at universities. And when I ask this question, a large majority of them answer it wrong. And when I ask people in big seminars, the majority of the people in the seminars, to include physicians, answer it incorrectly. So you can answer it if you want, Azra, or you could say what you think most people would, and how they would answer it. You ready?
Okay.
So
is it something you've asked before?
I've shared this before, but I don't share it that often because I don't want to give people a gateway or added reasoning for taking certain actions. And it'll make sense when I ask the question. Okay. All right. So the question would be, if I'm in front of a whole bunch of registered dietitians, they spent 6 years in college learning about nutrition, and now they're ready to go into the world and to help everybody. And I'll say, protein is a makeup of, like, you get these amino acids. Are amino acids essential? And the crowd will go, yes. Then I'll say, fat, like omega-3s and omega-6, are they essential? Yes. Are carbohydrates essential? That's the question. Do you have to eat carbs to live?
I would say yes. I love me some carbs. A lot of things changes when you don't use carbs. I mean, carb is your main, could be your main source of fuel for your workouts, for your
Okay. So
athletes,
I'm going to ask the crowd.
bodybuilders.
Okay, everybody. Lori, I'm asking you. Renee, who's listening in, I'm asking you. Donna, I'm asking you. Are carbohydrates essential? We know that there's protein. Certain amino acids are essential. We know that omega-3s and omega-6 are essential. Are carbohydrates essential for life? Now, Donna says, I thought carbs are for energy.
For muscle growth, but I could live on lean meats and cheese.
Okay, well, Lori says that they are primary fuel. Okay, now here's the part. Are you ready for the answer?
Yes, King of Nutrition. Let us know. Come on, Michael Jackson. Bring the sauce. Hey.
Carbohydrates are not essential. You can live without carbs. I rarely share this, but it's a fact. You don't need to eat carbohydrates to live. They are not essential.
But depends how do you want to live is a question.
See, I love that about you, because that's how you got to think.
Yeah.
So yes, they're not essential, but they do play a role in quality of life.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So
you
if
you want to build some muscle,
well, you can live without carbs because your body does shift and ketones are real. But there's something that takes place in the gut. Is one prime example of why you want to eat carbs, specifically fiber. And this is where I feel she's demonstrating, in my opinion, medical injustice because of what fiber does in the gut to create what we're going to talk about, the most potent antioxidant in the entire body. So for her to tell people not to eat fiber and that is not important is extremely important, because without fiber, you don't have the environment to create that thing called Indole-3-Propionic Acid, IPA.
It's not the beer at the bar.
Exactly, which Ozma, for the record, you guys, is certified as it pertains to this. And we've had a lot of time talking about it. And IPA, so imagine telling someone not to eat fiber, knowing that interferes or hinders the production of the most important antioxidant in the body. That's where she fell completely short, because it's not about just your stool. It's not about how frequent you go to the number 2. It's not just about regularity and cutting the carb count. That's where she, in my opinion, did a horrible thing, and she should recant that. And I believe when she learns about this, because I posted on her page, if she looks into it, she'll delete that video.
Don't do anything that would reduce her followers.
Hey, I'm keeping it real.
Yeah.
Right? Because this is where we got to call people on their crap.
Yeah. Well,
right?
What would you say to people? Okay, if she's recommending don't eat the fiber, it doesn't matter how often you go to the bathroom. What is your recommendation for people? What's the number one sign that, hey, you're having some you know, you need some changes in your bowel movements, what would you tell people? What's the
Well,
number?
as you know, Azra, I'm a big historian fan. Like, I like history, right? And so if you go back to biblical times, right, before the birth of Jesus Christ, if you go back 1,000 years ago,
Okay.
if you look at modern day hunter gatherers, like those, like that are living where they live off the earth 100%, right? Like in Cantonia, I'm having a mental block here. It's like when you look the Hadza, when you look at those tribes, they're consuming 100 to 150 grams of fiber a day, and they have the healthiest guts. They live the longest. They're the healthiest. So for a doctor to say don't do something that's been around for years because of some trend called keto, that's a disservice, in my opinion. And I can back it up with all the facts. So to tell someone not to eat carbs that come with fiber and prebiotics, that's an injustice. Because if you talk to a gastroenterologist, someone who looks at the colon, they do colonoscopies all the time. They treat people with colon cancer all the time, right? So your average family physician does not look at the colon, does not treat people with colon cancer. A gastroenterologist is doing that, right? You can't find a gastroenterologist that would endorse keto.
Have you seen the inside of your colon, Robert?
Yes, I have.
Pretty impressive stuff.
But see, like someone like you, Azra, you would go, okay, wait a minute. And I'm guessing, because I just knowing you, why would a family physician encourage keto, but someone who looks at the colon will never encourage keto?
Well, you know, I mean, for me, someone like a physician like her, she might not have the nutritional knowledge compared to a gastroenterologist. I think something like keto, high, you know, you've got your, I mean, I did my keto diet. Like I said, protein every day, all day, a lot of cheese, you know, high in fat, high in protein. I just think it builds up other issues in your gut.
Well, you know, this is what whenever I do presentations for the big companies, I will always say at one point that weight loss is not indicative of better health. And we live in a world right now where many people, even those catching us in this video, think that I'm healthier if I lose weight. You're not healthier if you lose weight. You could be, and that's part of the story. But just because you lose weight doesn't mean you're healthy. And you and I know that just by doing a balance test.
Yes. And I actually have living proof, okay? You look at me and you're like, oh my God, Azra, you're so fit. You look at my mom. My mom is a heavier set woman. Her test result, okay? She did the balance test, you know, she had a result of 22-1. My result was 40-1. Okay. My mom likes to eat a lot of things, and you would think she's not healthy, but she actually had a better omega-6, omega-3 ratio than I did. So don't let the size fool you. I might look fit and I have a little quad muscle over here, but there's some inflammation going on that I'm working on. Okay.
Right. I mean, and that's the reality. And again, like, this doctor is not even looking at that. She don't even know about this test.
No, I should write her an email.
But she's telling people not to eat it. And then we have a gut health test too. And in the gut health test, all of her people would probably fail miserably, because in order to have a good, healthy gut. Okay.
Yeah.
And here's where I want you to like help me realize I'm not crazy. Every gastroenterologist in the world all agree on one thing. And they say a variety of plant-based foods is how you have a healthy gut.
Yes, think of the rainbow.
Right. But this doctor that we're watching her video, she is saying, don't eat plant-based food. That completely contradicts what every gastroenterologist is saying about the gut.
But you know what? I will have to say, if it wasn't for her, gastro doctors would not have patients, okay? She can inflame them all and then bring them to the gastro doctor.
Right.
That's how I feel. It's a supply and demand, Robert.
All right. Well, let's get through the rest of this video and then we'll close it out. How's that?
Okay.
You ready? Okay.
I tried to play this game myself, and it didn't work for my body either. Let's go back to Jane. Like many of you, she had years of insulin resistance, and the inflammation haunted her, her joints, and her gut. So when she decided to do a strict elimination diet, she ate only sardines and MCT oil. Now, she did not wake up on day 2 of this plan feeling dandy. This drastic change caused some problems at first. Your microbiome, like Jane's, lives off of a certain fuel. And when you've been feeding it that way, and then you cut it off, the bacteria that feed on sugar and fiber die off. And this can cause some symptoms. In the beginning, Jane had diarrhea. Once she, or more accurately, her microbiome adapted, that went away. And that's when the magic happened. To understand why Jane got better, you have to understand the mechanism. Fiber travels from the stomach to the bowels, mostly unchanged, as long strings that do not get digested. These undigestible threads act like a brush. Doctors say you need it to clean you out, but imagine you have an open wound. Would you take a scrub brush to it to help you heal? Well, of course not. So why would you take a scrub brush to an inflamed, leaky gut? Your gut has a protective coating called this mucin layer, a slime layer. And you want this layer.
Okay, I got to pause just for a second. If you were at my house, I would pause it and I would say, Azra, she's talking about leaky gut. And one of the most important things that help with leaky gut is consuming enough prebiotics. Pre, not pro. And prebiotics you get from fiber. If you don't eat fiber, you don't get prebiotics that help with the gut. But yet she's talking about gut and leaky gut.
Very conflicting.
It's 100% conflicting. It's I mean, for me, I guess mind-blowing to me. And that's why people like her, I would love to be on a panel so she could talk, then I could talk, you know, other experts could talk, or so-called experts, and let's see where it ends. But what happens is you don't see people like her on panels with people like me. People in the keto world, they get on panels with only keto endorsing people. There's no place where the truth, like a truth panel, so you can go tit for tat, debate, share proof. No one in my space is doing that, Azra.
Yeah. Well, you know, you're willing to stand against the grain, Robert. You're willing to say things that is the truth. A lot of times people are just going to stay comfortable and quiet. But you have to remember, people sometimes follow people and not, you know, for example, she might be spreading this message, and maybe because you like her, maybe she's been your doctor for a while, even though what she says might not be true. You follow her message. And I've seen this trend. People follow people and not, you know, I don't want to say the truth. Like, is this the truth? But, you know, sometimes you might, someone that you look up to, right? Maybe it's your celebrity. A lot of times people eat fruits and vegetables because someone that they admire eats fruits and vegetables.
Man,
you know, so somebody might admire her, and that's why they just absorb everything she's saying.
Preach, sister, because you are, I mean, what you're saying right now, Azra, is what you and I are up against, right? Because the flip side of that is people would go, all right,
yeah,
you guys are saying she's not legit. what makes you legit.
Yep.
And you got to be ready for that. So they go, what makes you, Osra? Why would I want to listen to you? You could be wrong just like her.
Yeah, well, I'm not promoting anything. I'm just promoting, move more water, more movement, and less listening to things that are not the truth.
But you are promoting. You promote calming inflammation in the body. You promote omega-6 to 3 ratio.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
but why? Because inflammation is the root cause of most of our issues. All of these, whether it's acute or chronic, autoimmune diseases. And listen, I got diagnosed with non-fatty liver a year and a half ago.
Right. You had non-alcoholic fatty liver.
Yep. And because I was getting fatigued, I had yellow under my eyes, and I was eating the carbs, I was eating sugar. I mean, and the doctor says, so you have non-fatty liver. We want you to get an ultrasound. And I did. And my liver enzymes were so high, but I had to look at what was my behavior, what was my choice of food.
Right.
And I reduced it. I started reducing the inflammation in the body by changing how I eat. Of course, getting my movement in, and my liver enzymes went from 276. I'm down to like 21. Okay. Nice. I forgot what the range is, but if I promote anything, it would be just really holistic move, just health.
All right. Well, I can't wait. I cannot wait for this lady to finish her claims. And I want to hear the truth from Osra. Okay. I want your no holds barred feedback. If one of your best friends came to you and said they watched this video and they want your opinion, that's what I want to hear. I want to hear the truth from Osra.
Play the video. Play the rest of the video.
When you eat fiber, you are physically scraping that protection away. In healthy people, the layer restores before the next meal. But in my patients, their slime layer isn't healthy enough to tolerate that friction or that abrasion. Don't we need fiber for that diverse microbiome? Well, this idea confuses cause and effect. Just because healthy people have diverse bacteria doesn't mean that shoving fiber down their throat created that. Do not be fooled. The smartest of scientists do not agree on which bugs in the gut biome are good or bad. The human body has adapted to many different diverse bacteria living in a low-carb setting.
I have to pause because this is what I'm going to call a lie, and feel free to push back on me. What she just said is a complete lie. We know 100%, Osra, that with an adequate amount of fiber and certain amino acids called tryptophan, that there's bugs in our gut that produce IPA, which is the #1 most potent antioxidant in the human body. So what she just said was a complete lie.
Yeah, and I caught the last end of it. It says in a low carb setting. Ding, ding, ding. What is she promoting? Low carb.
Okay, I'm gonna let it play a little bit more. We don't need to see the whole thing, but
okay,
let's just watch a little bit more, and then Osra is going to give her opinion.
A high fiber setting and a low fat setting. We should marvel at the adaptation of our bodies, not the bacteria type. This study looked at patients who were suffering from chronic constipation, and they divided them into groups: the high fiber group, the low fiber group, and the zero fiber. Doctors will tell you that the zero group must have been blocked up, right? Wrong. The zero fiber group had zero symptoms. The high fiber group, they got worse. If you have a traffic jam on the highway, adding more carbs or more bulk does not clear the jam. The recurring argument for eating fiber lands here. Your bacteria ferment the fiber into butyrate, to feed your colon this special 2-carbon molecule known to suppress appetite and lift your mood. That all is true. But there's another way to get that morsel of nutrients into the cells in your colon. When you are in ketosis, your liver produces beta-hydroxybutyrate, BHB. Look carefully at that name. Do you see the word butyrate in there? BHB is structurally almost identical to the butyrate your gut bacteria make. When you are in ketosis, you are feeding your gut lining through the blood supply of those cells. You don't need the fermentation factory, and you can skip the gas. Let's go back to Jane. Her inflammatory problems had remarkable improvement, but she had questions about the bathroom. Like, I go every few days and it's small. Am I constipated? The answer was no. She was efficient. Constipation comes with the symptoms and the cramping associated with going to the bathroom. Remember, poop is waste. It's the stuff your body couldn't use. When Jane was eating that nutrient-dense sardines with MCT oil, her body absorbed almost everything, even the small morsels of vitamin C found in those fish. There was hardly any waste. Healthy poop isn't a giant log that tears you apart. Healthy poop is a sign that your body took what it needed and discarded the leftovers. You don't need to eat broccoli to get the nutrients. Cows have 4 stomachs to break down that fiber. You have 1. Let the cow eat the fiber. You eat the cow, or in Jane's case, the sardines. My secret to how to eat is exactly.
All right.
And what was that study? Where did they conduct that study?
You can go in there. There are studies. I haven't vetted that one, but you could look at it and I'll forward that to you. But she gets into a cow, and at the very end, she's like, eat the cow. So remember, that goes back to people who are into keto.
Yeah.
They don't want to eat carbs. They don't want to eat broccoli. They don't want to eat fruit. They don't want to eat honey. They want to eat protein and primarily fat.
The first thing I thought about when she said, she said due to the study, people who took high amounts of fiber, they got worse. The only thing that could be worse is, more frequent bathroom trips.
Yeah.
Clearing out the gut.
And even that, like another thing, like if you talk to a gastroenterologist, they will tell you that what we call constipation, when you can't go, is constipation. But if you go regularly and it's runny, that's also constipation. So constipation is not what most people think it is. So again, it goes back to that bridge of what is accurate information and what is not.
Yeah.
So as she's promoting that, and we know the importance of fiber, let me be the one. Okay. So let me bring up a slide.
Let's see what you got.
Okay. So there's 4 basic categories of fiber. You have soluble fiber, and that's fiber that dissolves in water, right? So our bodies are 50 to 70% made up of water. And when you eat certain fibers, oats, beans, apples, it dissolves in the water, which is great. And then you have insoluble fiber, which is the kind of fiber that most people think of because it kind of cleans the kitchen floor, if you will, right? So it helps to add bulk to the stool to support regular bowel movements. So when you have soluble fiber, you consume it, the body doesn't use it for calories, and it just absorbs into the water. You have insoluble fiber, which is the kind of fiber that you eat, and it helps you become more regular. And then you have a fiber called prebiotic fiber, which is fermentable. Kimchi, the kind of fiber that's even in the product that you and I recommend called Zinobiotic. And this is the kind of like a prebiotic fiber comes from fiber, but not all fiber is a prebiotic. So prebiotic helps, it actually gets all the way to the large intestine, which is the colon, and it mixes inside of your current bacteria. And as a result of that, you produce IPA, which is like the most potent antioxidant in the human body. And antioxidants, for those who are new to antioxidants, help protect your cells, protect your aging, protect you from getting disease. Antioxidants are your friend. And then you have resistant starch, which works like fiber, and it can help. Like you can get that from rice and potatoes and a lot of the what we call fast carbs that people avoid. But just by cooking, let's say rice, and you've probably heard this before, letting it cool, and then when it's time to eat it, reheat it, you have more resistant starch and it improves your blood sugar. Like if your mom was concerned with her blood sugar, but she really liked rice, or she liked potatoes, or she liked pasta, I would cook the pasta, let it completely cool, and when it's time to eat dinner, I would reheat it, and she would notice that her blood sugar levels are cut in half. And that's because of the resistant starch.
We just had pasta the other night.
Right. So,
right.
If a person cooks like when I make pasta in my house, I wake up, I have my breakfast, I'll make the pasta early in the day, cook it, and then I'll add my marinara sauce or whatever sauce I'm going to add to it, any protein, and then I'll put it in a pot, and then I put it in the refrigerator. Knowing that in the evening when it's time to eat pasta, I'm going to put it on the stove, I'm going to heat it back up, and as a result of doing that process, you cut the sugar impact on blood sugar by 50%, Ajra.
Well, I think this is why some of Asian cultures, I have many friends that are Filipino, and I see their parents and I see the community. A lot of people from Asian countries are smaller. And I really sometimes think it's because of all of the rice that they eat. And they've got like rice for days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like rice isn't bad. If you go to Okinawa, where they live extremely long lives and they're extremely healthy, they eat rice every day. They're eating tubers, yams, and potatoes every day. People who live the longest on the planet are eating carbs every day.
Eat your potatoes, people.
Amen. So anyway, I'm not going to bring back that was the end of her video. And I guess my heart goes out to people who don't know that we're sharing an alternative way of looking at this. And so they will just believe what she says instead of finding out the truth.
Do your own research and eat that fiber. I think I have I've got a whole bowl of zucchini and broccoli and cauliflower. I'm ready to load up.
All right. Well, I know you're on it. I mean, any words of advice? And for those of you who would like to contact Ajra, she is a coach. She is someone who's in a place where she can help you. You can email her directly. You can just scroll down, look underneath, and you'll see her email. We do a lot of work together, and we're on a mission to make a difference in the lives of families and people. But what are some of your last words? What would you like to share, Ajra, before we say goodbye?
Oh, wow. I would like to tell people, just remind people, especially during this holiday season when everybody's forced to, because of the weather, wherever you live, I encourage you every morning, just make sure you get more water and more movement. Wherever your start is, just start with the smallest step. Don't focus on the big number. More water, more movement, whether it's 10-minute walk, whether it's a 1-hour hike in the woods, wherever you are, in the warm sunshine in the West. I just feel like people after every meal just go out for a nice little walk. It aids in the digestion. Start there. Can you go for a little walk in the evening living in the beautiful city of Chicago? Absolutely, if you know where to walk.
Okay, well, I mean, not just from a safety standpoint, but isn't it cold?
It is. I mean, right now it's like 38 degrees, but that's what we have called layers. And, I bundle up and hat and gloves. I mean, I go out in 5-degree weather. I go into the woods. We don't let the weather in Chicago stop us from being fit.
Okay,
You know what?
I
Fat
hear you.
creeps up through every season for no reason. It'll just creep up on you.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's
Well,
just
I mean,
so
good
much
advice. Good advice coming from the one and only Azra, who's Bosnian, who is very active, and she's on a mission to empower and encourage people to live their healthiest life.
Yes, and stop. And anyone who has high blood pressure, I just recommend please reduce your sodium. In my culture, we eat a lot of fermented cabbage, and it's just full of salt. It's delicious, but if you have high blood pressure, why are we, especially my people, why are we eating so much cabbage? And then we wonder why our blood pressure is 165 when we wake up, 165 over 110.
Well, that's interesting that you say that, because I don't know if you knew this, but there's only one study that was done that supports the idea that high sodium causes high blood pressure. And it's called the DASH diet.
Uh-huh.
Now, here's something to think about as you work with people and share information with, because I love the idea that they're eating fermented food.
Me too.
Yeah. So personally, if I was coaching someone and they had high blood pressure concerns and they ate fermented food, and I know it has a good amount of sodium in it, I wouldn't take that away from them.
You know what? I think it's because I saw my mom in the preparation process of how much salt. I mean, she does this homemade fermented. And when you see how much salt goes into that, and I see her eating it along with the smoked beef, of course, I'm like, Mom, no wonder you have high blood pressure. Like, let's add a little less salt. Just reduce the amount of salt you eat, especially for a high blood pressure person.
Right.
Right. I'm not saying salt is bad for you. I put salt on everything if you want. Of course, I'm not saying it's bad, but let's be mindful of how much sodium, especially as you get older. When you start getting into your 40s, 50s, 60s, your bodies are impacted a little differently. I could eat McDonald's.
I mean, actually, I love what you just said, because you're right.
Yeah.
Because I've watched my mom make certain foods, and I watched her, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of like if you're in the kitchen with a chef and you see how much butter or how much whatever that you're like, man, could we get the same thing without that much? Can you pull back a little bit?
Yeah.
No, you're right.
Yeah. And I have to say, Robert, salt is just like people who are like smokers or maybe, alcohol consumers.
Mm-hmm.
You need more and more and more to taste it, because when my mom salts her food and then I taste it, I'm like, oh, this is so salty. And she says, no, it's not salty enough. It's because she's just kind of built that up where she needs to have a certain taste, and she can't even taste the salt anymore because she puts away too much.
No, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
Well, let me go back. So over the time that we've been on here together, Azra, and I appreciate your time. You've had quite a few people give you a shout out. We had someone early on that said you remind them of Ricky Lake.
Ricky Lake. I love Ricky Lake. Let's bring her back.
Yeah, I wish we could bring her back. We'll see. But Lynn from Maui says that she says, hi, beautiful, and that balance is key. And she says she needs to catch up, and she goes, she's loving the conversation.
Oh, thank you, Lynn.
That's Lynn from Maui. And then Sandy Silver from beautiful Idaho gives you a big shout out as well. If you want to say anything to Sandy.
Sandy, I'm coming to Idaho. Let's train in the woods.
Hey, I want to go to Idaho too.
I want to go in the mountains. Forget Chicago.
And then Lori, who was on, you can see on the screen, she said that she gained 6 pounds when she did keto.
But you know what? She probably met her protein intake.
Well, she definitely got her protein, so 100%.
Well, you know.
And Carl asked if you were single. Carl from North Carolina. So
North Carolina, come on and raise up. I am single as a Pringle, and I'm ready to mingle.
Okay, so my question back to him was, I said, there's one qualification at least, and his response was like, "What's that?" I said, "You must be a Green Bay Packer fan."
Oh, and they have to take an inflammation test. I need to check your inflammation. Hey, here's my rule now for dating. It's gonna be, I need to check your inflammation before we can have a conversation.
Ooh, I love it. I love it.
I should put that on my dating profile, you guys.
Actually, that makes a lot of sense. I like that.
Yeah.
Let's check your inflammation before we have a conversation.
There you go.
No, that's good. That's real stuff right there. That's good.
To anybody that's single, put that on your dating profile.
Okay, well, we got it. Well, anyway, is there anything else that you would like to share? And thank you for spending so much time with me, Azra. I mean, I didn't expect us to have this long of a conversation, but I mean,
always a pleasure, Robert. I got the chance to meet Robert a week and a half ago in beautiful Las Vegas, and I think that you are genuine and authentic, and as funny as you are on live video, you are that person in person. So I appreciate that, for always being just true who you are. You're just a funny Lorenzo Roberto
Lorenzo Ferguson.
And I appreciate you having me on here. It's my first time on the live. I was a little nervous, and I'm just honored that you allowed me to share this space with you.
No, and you know what? My goal, as I've been sharing with people, is I want to have a very solid podcast, and I want to work around people's schedule. And you would be great. You're a great asset and addition. And I want people to get to know you. I want people who are looking for a coach. They want to learn more about nutrition. They want to learn about fitness. They want to, anything that we talk about. I just want to be very clear that I support you, and that as more people come to the show and as we grow, then I want to leverage my platform to help people become more aware of Azra.
I appreciate that. Thank you. You're making me blush. I feel like, there's a reason everything happens in life, and there's a reason why you and I got connected through someone we know. So I'm just grateful for everything that's happening, and thank you again.
All right. Okay. Last words, Azra. Your email, I did make it available. So if somebody wants to email you, they can. Outside of that, last words or recommendations for those who want to live their best and healthiest life.
I had this just a moment ago and then blanked. I just want to say, put more fiber in your gut and keep moving your butt.
Woo! Everybody, you heard it right there. This is Robert Ferguson with Dietary Life, or Dietary Life with Roberto Lorenzo Ferguson. And our special guest today is the one and only, who is going to be an ongoing regular with the podcast that we bring to the world. Because we're going to have some very, like, what's the word that you use, Azra? Like feisty, heated. I mean, we're going to have some, I got some other people coming on here, and I'm telling you, we're going to help people, but we're going to do it in a dynamic fashion.
Yeah, let's bring a little flavor into your life with this conversation.
So don't be surprised if Flavor Flav shows up in one of our upcoming seminars. Or
Flavor Flav. Let me go put on a clock,
Amen. I heard you right there. You see the clock over my shoulder, right?
Yes.
And that was,
but we need it hanging on your around your neck, Robert.
Every once in a while. When Flav comes on, I'll wear it. But Flav gave me that clock, and that's why it's there. And it always says 5 o'clock, because it's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Let's get the party started.
Amen. All right, you guys. Thank you for listening in. We appreciate you. And again, reach out to Azra if you have questions, you want to learn more about her, etc. And thank you, Azra, for your time.
Thank you, Robert. Have a great day.
All right, you guys. We're out of here. Peace out.
In a world of times, there's a new way to see. living free. Robert Ferguson's got the plan you need. With diet-free life, it's the key. No more starving, getting rid of inflammation. Choosing healthy choices, providing you with sound information. Bringing balance to hormones and insulin through food. With DFL, teaching you food choices to see you through. DFL, we're teaching you to eat food right. Teaching you to pair food with each bite. Balancing our body's microbiome, feels so right.